Hi, and welcome back to this Thursday edition of Focal Point on AFR Talk, 888-589-8840, a number to call. Give us a call. We'll try to get to the phones here just soon as we can. One more healthcare soundbite I want to play for you, and this goes back to a very familiar phrase. It'll start with what PolitiFact referred to as the lie of the year. In other words, PolitiFact, they pick one lie that a politician or a public figure told, and they pick one lie that is the whopper of the year. It's the Liar Pants on Fire Award. It is the whopper of the year, and it'll start off with the lie of the year, and then you'll hear how that lie affected one particular woman under Obamacare.
If you like your health care plan, you'll be able to keep your health care plan, period. If you like your doctor, you will be able to keep your doctor, period.
But as a matter of fact, for many, too many, that promise has already been broken. Our next guest lost her doctor under Obamacare after recently being diagnosed with breast cancer. Her treatment is now at a virtual standstill, and she's here on Fox and Friends to tell the story nationally first. Joining us now to share her story is Josie Gracci.
Hi, Peter.
Good morning. Tell us, you had coverage, and you were all set to go to Memorial Sloan Kettering, one of the great cancer institutions in the world,
yes,
to get your treatment for breast cancer. And then what happened?
Well, as of January 1st, my insurance plan rolled over into a new Obamacare plan that is part of the exchange, and my doctors are no longer available in my network. So the surgeons I was dealing with, following her orders, I no longer have access to. I don't have access to the Sloan Kettering facility where I was supposed to get a biopsy done on January 3rd. That was delayed about 2 weeks. Basically, this is delaying all of my treatment and surgery. Most people that get breast cancer don't wait this long to have a surgery, but it's as if I never had insurance at all.
So she had her insurance taken away from her. She had her doctor taken away from her. She had her specialist taken away from her. Sloan Kettering, one of the finest medical facilities in the country, and people are discovering over and over again that they can't get to the doctors that they had, the specialists they had, or the hospitals they had. And it's because of what the healthcare companies have to do to try to make this thing work. I got a story here, Washington Free Beacon, about a woman in California. She signed up for Obamacare. She can't even find a doctor, period, let alone the doctor that she had before. She can't even find a doctor. California resident Beth Kramer signed up for Obamacare, but no doctor will take her insurance. Kramer, a disabled mother of two, recently ran out of prescription antibiotics and medication, but has yet to find a doctor that will take her insurance plan purchased through California's state exchange covered California. I'm sitting here with an infection and the symptoms are coming back, and I have no idea when I can go to a doctor or where. And here's a story from the Boston Globe about a woman by the name of Nancy Petro. When Nancy Petro needs routine tests to make sure her thyroid cancer and high blood pressure have not returned, the retired gas station attendant and general store clerk must now drive an hour over mountainous roads to seek care, even though there is a hospital just minutes from her home in rural northern New Hampshire. Petro, 62, had been uninsured until January when she obtained coverage through President Obama's groundbreaking health law. The benefit came with a downside, however. To keep premiums affordable, Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield of New Hampshire, the only insurer in the state offering coverage in the new insurance marketplace, radically reduced the hospitals in its network. Petro's local provider did not make the cut. It goes on to say of the 26 hospitals in the state of New Hampshire, 10 of them are excluded from Anthem's network. Now, you normally think if you got health insurance, you can go to any hospital and they're going to help you out. Not so. Only 10 of the hospitals in the entire state are on the Anthem Blue Cross plan. And it's much cheaper. I've got a study here. I won't take time to go through with it, but it's much cheaper for the young people under Obamacare just to remain uninsured. The story says, Daily Caller, signing up for health insurance under Obamacare will be 5 times more expensive for healthy young people than remaining uninsured. It's cheaper for them to simply go uninsured, and he calculates out how much the average healthcare expenditures of a young invincible are, and they do have healthcare expenses that they'll incur during a year. You add all those up, you add the fine to it that they got to pay, and it's still less expensive than the cheapest plan that they could get under Obamacare. So they've simply got no incentive to sign up. You've got problems with navigators. Here's a story about a Connecticut Obamacare navigator with a felony conviction. And, I told you last week about 7 navigators in New Mexico's exchange triggered a hit on the FBI criminal database. Now, it doesn't details about why they're in there, but these are people that are handling very sensitive personal information. And, you just simply should not believe. I mean, Gallup's got a story out today about how the uninsured rate has come down 1.2%. It's now down to 16.1%. 2 things about this. This is amazing to me. The uninsured rate has fallen, and of course that's the goal of Obama, get the total number of uninsured to drop, get people that are uninsured finding insurance. So Gallup out there, they're celebrating this. It's working, down 1.2%. But the uninsured rate so far has declined more among those who are unemployed than it has among those who are employed. The uninsured rate has fallen faster among the people that do not have a job. They've got no source of income. They can't pay insurance. So why is the uninsured rate coming down for them? Because they are on Medicare, or Medicaid rather. So they're not paying customers. And the other thing that Gallup overlooks is if you go back to the beginning of President Obama's administration, you know what the uninsured rate was in late 2008 when George Bush was still the president? 13.9%. 13.9% under Obama. It went up to 18.6% in the middle of last year, and now it's come down to 16.1% primarily. So it's still almost 3 points higher than it was when he became the president. All right, let's go back to the phones. Let's go to Richard, Grand Bay, Alabama. Richard, thank you for calling. Thank you for waiting. What's on your mind?
I got one thing to say about this abortion thing.
Yes, sir.
For years and years and years, I've been on the fence. I think it should be a woman's choice. But after listening to you and the way you talk, you have changed my mind drastically.
Wow.
And this is coming from the heart. I'm a God-fearing man, but I've always thought a man should not tell a woman what to do with her body. But now it's 100%. It's nothing but murder.
Yeah. Well, and see, I'll tell you, Richard, and see, you're onto something here, because I agree with liberals who say we have no right to tell a woman what to do with her body. I agree with that. It's her body. She has the right to it. But here's the deal, Richard. We are in abortion. We are not talking about her body. We are talking about the body of her baby. And this is where you've kind of seen the light. Nobody's got a right to do whatever they want to do with somebody else's body.
That's correct.
All right, Richard. Well, listen, is there any, do you kind of remember when the tipping point happened? I'm so pleased to hear you say that.
This, probably last year during school, I go pick up my daughter at school Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And I always listen to this show. Every day I get there at 1 o'clock and I turn it on. As soon as I get there, I listen.
Wow.
And you have changed, my whole way of thinking about everything.
Wow.
The other big thing that I've got is some people can cry, I don't want prayer in school, and it's tossed out. They're offended by it. Well, what if I'm offended by not having it in school?
Exactly right. Yeah, why are they the only ones that can go to court when they're offended? And if we're offended because they've taken prayer out, we don't have the same right. It's obviously completely unfair and unjust, and there's no equality there whatsoever.
Yeah, we say grace every night over every meal. We hold hands at my table.
Good deal.
It's God's way, and the direction we headed in right now, I hope my grandson, which is 6 years old, he'll be raised in the America I was raised in, and not what he's in now.
Well, there you go, Rich. Well, listen, I appreciate the call, and you're doing your part to create that kind of culture for your 6-year-old grandson. Thank you for calling, Richard. I'm so pleased to hear that this program has kind of helped the way you think about things. Praise God for that. Fantastic. Thank you for the call.
100%. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Let's go to Brady in Dallas, Texas. Brady, welcome to Focal Point with Brian Fisher. What's on your mind?
Hello there. My name is Brady, and what I wanted to first of all do was thank you for your ministry. But the issue I wanted to bring up was the title of fetus. They always want to switch to Latin to describe what's in the mother, and all fetus is in Latin is baby.
Yeah, that's right.
And,
it doesn't really help them, does it?
Yeah, and they'll even I've even seen it where they want to use the older spelling as FOET US, and it almost sounds like an alien creature. We will help you get that fetus out of your body, and it's like they want to talk in English until it's time to talk about the baby, and then they switch to Latin. And so my comment is this: if we can not use the word fetus except to educate the people that fetus just means Latin for baby, and just use baby, that I think we're going to have a better witness by calling it what it is. It's a baby in there, and of course if a mother is pregnant, they're going to have a baby. It's just a matter of whether it's going to be a live baby or a dead baby, and so if they go to a doctor and they have assistance to remove the fetus, that language is used to downplay.
Yeah, to try to dehumanize the baby. Yeah. All right, Brady. Listen, that's a great call, and Brady's got a great point here. The Latin word for fetus. They do the OE thing. I think that's probably designed to make you think of amoeba. Amoeba is the only other word I know where you got the O and the E and that people normally use. So they want you to think of the baby as a thing. But when they use the word fetus, just ask them, do you know what the word fetus means in Latin? No, it means baby. Focal Point AFR Talk. Back in 2.